Hey, welcome back, Rankers. I thought I'd have a look at Google Trends this week because there's a few elections about, and as we know from the US presidential elections for the last 12 years, a good predictor of that is Google Trends. So I thought it's a good exercise to show you how to do some keyword research, but also some of the added benefits that Google Trends now has, especially down to the hour, down to 4 hours, down to the last day, what's trending, what's not. So let's have a look. So the big election that is the next one coming up, unless you know of others, let me know, is a French one. And this one caught my eyes, the French presidential election. And apparently one of the newspapers over there has given up on polls because they just don't work. So I thought, well, let's go and have a look and see who the presidential candidates are. Incidentally, they're actually saying that for the presidential election in the UK, in France, is going to come down to two players, Francois Fillon and the far right Marine Le Pen. So if we go and have a look at what Google Trends says, well, Marine Le Pen, yes, definitely. Like, you know, if that was held yesterday, she would win the French election. This guy's coming right up, as you can see. But this guy who they're saying it's going to be, nah, he's out, he's gone. Unless that graph changes, you know, on the day of the election. But what we know from the US presidential elections is that the guy who trends most, and I'm saying guy because it's only ever been guys in the US, the guy who trended most on the day was always the winner. So you have to check this on the day if you're going to place a bet or something like that. Okay, so, and if you do so at your own risk. So then I thought there was also a story about the Australian political system and what was trending there. And there was a story that the Greens were now less popular than the One Nation Party, which is, I guess, our Marine Le Pen, except a little dumber. And you can see here, yeah, unfortunately, in the last 7 days, and I say unfortunately because, well, I'll let you look them up themselves. Yeah, they've just like look at that graph there, heads and shoulders above. So you go the last 30 days, and she's the leader has said some extreme things recently. So you think, oh yeah, that's the why they're in the press. Yeah, look at this one here. There was stuff. The leader was invited to Trump's inauguration. Okay, so that's why we've got these peaks here. But you know, based on what we know from the last 12 years of data, that would indicate that yeah, they're going to go pretty well if an election was held today. And interestingly, the government, which is the Liberal Party, is not going well at all when you look at it at the party level. So then I thought, okay, let's go and have a look at the leadership level of the parties, and we can see here that this is the leader of One Nation, and you can see there she's way above everyone. And then comes the Prime Minister, and you would think that would be tainted with people just doing searches in Australia about the Prime Minister. Maybe they're not necessarily party based, they're maybe looking for Prime Ministerial announcements or whatever. But that is significant when you look at the number 2 party, what's meant to be the number 2 party, which is the ALP leader, Bill Shorten. That's languishing. And but you know, as far as the story goes, that One Nation is now more popular than the Greens, yes, that is actually true, big time. So I thought, well, let's go and check it against something else, because we're saying in here, geez, you know, if this works, we could place some bets on the sports bet or something. But it only seems to work with popular votes. So then we thought, well, why don't we go and check a reality TV show? And you can do this at home yourselves. You can have a play with this. So what I thought we'd do is we go and have a look at competition in Australia called The Voice. And this is the results from last year. So what we're looking at here is the 30 days lead up to the final vote for The Voice last year. And you can see here that this person, Tash Lockhart, was 4 times the amount of searches, 4 times the amount of search volume of the winner, which was actually this guy, the blue. So you can see him here. And I think, well, what's wrong there? There goes the theory. It's busted. And I immediately said, well, results are rigged, because Trends is saying something different. So Trends is saying that, well, you look at the numbers. Trends is saying that Tash Lockhart was nearly 3 times as popular as the winner. So something is dodgy there. Then Courtney in the office said, why don't we just Google her name? So maybe there was something actually happening on the day or something like that. So we did the search. There we go, Tash Lockhart, and you can see here we've got an unfortunate wardrobe malfunction. And if you use Google search suggestions, you get to find out that why it spiked, and that's because she had a major wardrobe malfunction on the day. So excluding those sorts of outliers, Google Trends is really good at telling you what the popular zeitgeist is of the moment, and right down to the level, and we have a look at our leaders here. Leaders. We'll have a look at the leaders here. So let's see, that's past 30 days. This is the past 7 days. What's changed? Waiting for Googles. Still in front, and no one knows who this bloke is. He's dropped off the face of the earth. I had to actually ask someone in the office, I said, who's the leader of the Greens? It doesn't mean much because I try not to follow politics if I can. So this is the last day. This is basically the last 24 hours. And you look at that, and that trend is continuing, right? It's pretty much stable over the last 30 days, the last 7 days, the last day. What's going on today? What are people searching for today? And this is what we did with the US presidential election. We looked at the day. And right now, that's still trending for the leader of One Nation. And what's happened in the last hour, if you're curious? Probably won't have enough data, but we'll have a look anyway. Ugh, yuck. Yeah. So you can use trends for a number of things. What I'd really like to see is some sort of API that we could query the data and then dynamically generate ads based on location. So if you were doing some sort of event, you could go in and have a look at what's trending in the area around that event, and what ads you want to take out right now for people searching for stuff in that area. So this granularity of data that Google Trends has now is just sensational. Obviously, we can't actually get real volumes. We can only get relative volumes. So 100 is 100% of searches, and everything else is relative to that point 100 right there. So it's a really interesting tool to use, and it does a lot of things that your Google AdWords Planner won't do. Like it will look between past tense, present tense. It will look at, you can split up plurals and singulars and those sorts of things. So it's really helpful. And if you've got any elections or any popular voting stuff, TV shows, reality stuff, whatever it is, let us know in the comments, either on YouTube or on the blog or on Facebook or on Smart Company, wherever else you're watching this. Let us know, and we'll have a look at that. And yeah, hopefully we'll make some money betting, gambling. Do so at your own risk. See you next week. Thanks very much. Bye.